right, Bobcat fans, we're here, opening drive with head coach Josh Strickland. Today's segment sponsored by Roof Masters and Bubba's 33 in Longview, Texas. Coach, how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing great.
Friday night, let's just go right into it. Friday night, Marshall, Harrison County rivalry. You know, it's crazy, Coach, because when we were growing up, we didn't play Marshall.
No, and it's taken me some getting used to call that a rival, honestly.
Yes, and now it's becoming kind of their rival on that. But let's be honest, too. Until last Friday night, it's a rivalry that's been kind of lopsided, not in our favor the last couple of years.
It's funny you said that because in my pregame speech, I said, all right, guys, here's the deal. Everybody's asking about this rivalry all week. I've gave them the politically correct answer. It's it's important because it's the next game. I was like, honestly, guys, it's not much of a rivalry when a team beats you 7 in a row. And I was like, now you guys can go out there and make it a rivalry if you want to. I was like, well, right now, I really don't consider it a rivalry, but we can make it that way.
And I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things I was going to go into is when it's, it may be a rivalry for us, but when from their perspective, it's coming the opposite direction, not much of a rivalry. So glad to see it tilt back in our favor. Well, what did it feel like Friday night, Coach, after beating Marshall? And I don't mean just so much beating Marshall, but getting back in the win column in district.
I think it was huge. I think the most excitement that came at the end of that game was how the game in itself played out. I think that in itself brought a lot of excitement. I think us rebounding from, having a 3-game win streak to a 2-game losing streak and then getting back in the win column, I think that was the exciting part about it. There was never a doubt in our mind that we were going to win the game as far as the expectation. I thought our coaches had a good plan. I thought our kids practiced hard all week. And, not one time when I was watching film did I think that we weren't going to go in there and, if we played our brand of football, that we couldn't come out there with a win.
It was amazing because it was a tale of two halves. In the first half, it was a lot of defensive battles. There was 10 points scored total.
Yeah.
In the second half, it was 68 points scored between the two teams.
Right.
Man, as a coach, how does your heart, intuition handle all that, man?
For me, going into a game, I really don't think about – I don't really get wrapped up in all the emotion during it. It's my job. We have to make so many decisions within a game that, the emotions really don't come into play. It's just you've got a job to do. And, me being the head coach but also calling offense, there's always something to be working on. And on the sideline, whether it's making adjustments or calling plays or, we tell our kids have that next play mentality. Well, as a coaching staff, we got to do it too and not get so wrapped up in the emotions of the game.
Well, you're saying that emotions don't really play a part in it.
Yeah.
But at some point, they've got to come in and come to play. Is it the ride home? When do they kick in?
No, when that clock went to 0.
Is that when it kicks in?
When Dylan Morales had the sack, and then, my emotions, I let it all out.
In a game like that, it's good to go ahead and let it out.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
let's move forward on that. Now, the biggest part of that is you're now 1-1 in district.
Right.
Have your expectations, goals, have they altered any in the last couple of weeks? Where are they at now?
No, I think we've said all along our goals to get in the playoffs, and we will not set any other goals until we reach that first one. And that's, the crazy thing is in this district is as good as we felt Friday night, we'll feel that bad if we don't take care of business this Friday because there's so much parity within our district. I think anybody can beat. I think if you take T-High out of it, anybody can beat anybody the rest of the way. And so we have to prepare just like we do every other week to do that until we reach our goal, and we're mathematically clinch a spot, which is what our goal is. We'll do that before we talk about any other goals.
Talk to me a little bit, Coach, about NAC, what they bring, and talk to me a little bit about the guys on your team that have started stepping up.
Yeah, first of all, Nacogdoches, the crazy thing about them is, I think they played really well at home, and they haven't played as well on the road. Whatever dynamic goes on with that, I don't know. But they played pretty well at home. They beat White House at home. They had another close game at home. The only really game they weren't in at home was Chapel Hill, and that one kind of broke open late. But with Nat, you can expect to see some of the same things. Guys on the other side who are athletic, guys who are going to play at the next level, and guys that if you don't play disciplined, hard-nosed football, then they're going to make you pay for it. On the other question about guys that have stepped up, it's been pretty good for our offense in district so far that we've had different guys step up, whether it was Ashton. Ashton always does his job, and some of the things that Ashton does, not everybody sees. Because whether he's getting the ball or not, his role in the trenches a lot of times inside the box, he's doing something and he's opening up things for us. But to have those 11 catches, 215 yards versus Texas High, and then this past week getting our other slot receiver and Connor White, he got going, and those two guys have kind of taken some pressure and some coverage off of Ethan, and he was able to have about 100 yards and a couple touchdowns again. So, I think that makes us as an offense hard to defend when that ball can go anywhere. And the guy that's, the guy's in the backfield conducting it all is pretty good himself.
I had a coach ask me after the game, an old retired coach, he said, is the offense set up that way, or is it just go to whoever's open at the moment? To hit different players.
I do not have a hit chart, and I've hardly ever been in a place where I needed a hit chart. I've been in a lot of places just like this where we have a lot of the same-looking guys that can get it done. They may not be huge standouts or, just have all these Division I offers that were, you try to get the ball to them all the time. I've never had a hit chart. We run our offense. We have progressions. We have run-pass options. There's multiple options on every play, and we just honestly try to find the grass and get there.
And, Coach, man, there's so many more questions I want to ask you, but this segment's ended, man. We'll get it on it next week. Thank y'all for joining us. Congrats on the win. Let's get another one. Yep. Fans at home, opening drive. We'll see y'all next time.
Thank you, guys.